Hi everyone, welcome to Q Sourcing, and this is
Coffee with the QSS Recruitment TEAM.
I'm Agnes Maingi.
And I'm Eunice Wainaina, and we are here to help you land your next big role.
Welcome. We want to look at what are those key elements that you are supposed to put in your CVs, or rather, what are those key elements that hiring managers are actually looking at when they look at your CV. So maybe Eunice, you can take us through that.
Okay, so for starters, I'd like to highlight one of the key things that the hiring managers will be looking for is your professional summary. So it needs to be relevant to the role you are applying for. For example, someone would have an engineering professional summary, but they're applying for a sales role. That is a straight up disqualification.
Okay.
So you need to really align to what the role is at that particular time.
Okay.
So you need to customize your CV for each application you make.
Okay,
Yes.
good to know.
Yeah. One of the other things I would point out is the relevance of your CV to this particular job. So, for example, if you're applying for a sales and marketing role, you need to tailor-make your CV to that. Because as much as you've tailor-made your professional summary, also the key duties and responsibilities need to match. So if it's a sales role and the hiring manager is looking, let's say, for leadership qualities, you need to feature that in your resume.
Okay.
Yeah, so it kind of really needs to match so that you get higher chances of your CV being selected.
Okay.
Yes.
And do you think the aspect of how your CV looks like really matters?
Yes, it does. The layout, because you find some people will put in different fonts.
Yeah.
That shows a bit of disorganization.
Yes.
So you need to make sure your fonts are the same. You need to make sure that you've used, what do you call it, same kind of a layout. So
Okay.
if you decide on a 2-column, just make sure it's a 2-column throughout. Also, don't use a lot of colors. Limit, make it more professional.
Okay. Okay.
You can use probably like 2 colors, maybe blue and white,
Okay.
or just one color throughout, but at least don't put in a lot of colors in the wordings and in the layout.
Okay.
So also make sure you limit on that.
Okay. And does the number of pages matter?
Yes, it does, because like currently the ATS systems that we have, it's good you have, if you have, for example, like 0 to 2 years of experience, that should be a 1-page CV.
Okay.
Limit the content, because again, if you put in a long CV, it takes a lot of time to look at, and the recruiter or the hiring manager doesn't have that much time.
Yeah.
They will just give a glance and move on. So you need to limit and put in the key content in that CV. So limit the number of pages. If it's 3 to 5 years, you could have like 2 pages, but please limit. Don't put a CV with 5 pages yet you have like 2 years of experience.
Okay.
Yes.
So
On the next aspect, you need to have an updated contact information. I've seen several CVs where the number is out of service, the email is not going through, so you need to make sure that your contact information is up to date.
Okay.
Also limit the number of phone numbers you're giving, because I've seen people give up to 3 phone numbers. At least give one that is mostly used or mostly active. Sorry. The other thing that the hiring manager will be looking out for in your CV are the keywords.
Okay.
Actually, this is not for the hiring manager. This is for the ATS to track, or for the ATS to filter out your CV. So if you're applying for an engineering role, make sure you put in the keywords from the job description in your CV, so that the ATS is able to filter that out.
Okay.
The other aspect that you also need to include, or what the hiring managers will be looking out for, is your education. So if you have done courses, or small courses that could be a good addition to what you're applying for, could be LinkedIn courses, could be Coursera, just make sure you also include that in your CV.
Okay.
Because this also boosts your chance to get selected, because you show proactivity in developing yourself academically.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So the keywords that I'm hearing from you are relevance,
Yes.
relevance to the role,
Yes.
education,
Yes.
contact information,
Yes.
and keywords.
Yes.
Okay, so everyone, I'm hoping you've gotten just a bit of a nutshell regarding what you're supposed to put on your CV. Next time, we'll be discussing on the do's and the don'ts on a particular interview. See you next time.